of hours disability accommodations, and that was just more of a, well, after a long trip, it's probably hard to talk about because I have two ongoing conditions. One, I've had open heart surgery before, and that's very intense, and I had that like 5-ish years ago. The other one is I was recently diagnosed with ADHD, which is most people don't really understand what ADHD actually is. I thought I knew what it was until I got diagnosed and found out what it truly was. But the reason I'm doing these talking exercises is because I don't talk anymore. I really don't. I don't get the opportunity to talk at work. At work, when I'm stationed as a level A grunt, I'm just going to call it a runner at this point. I don't see anyone. I don't talk to anyone. It's just move an item from here to there, move this machine from here to there, move whatever needs to be moving to where it needs to go. So I've spent literally, like after the meeting was completed, it was like 10 hours of just walking, doing tasks, but I don't really get a chance to engage or talk to people. So I think that's what the person is to, like, when I think back to how much I've actually said to people and how much I've actually talked at work, I haven't talked a lot. People don't know me. I barely talk anymore. It's at the point where, because I don't talk, when it becomes time to actually talk about something, I stumble over my words. Partially because of the ADHD and not having balance with short-term memory and all that jazz, but kind of have like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing going on, where when I'm medicated at the start of my cycle, I'm very vocal, I'm very capable, quick, able to put many difficult ideas together. But 12 hours later, after taking the meds, it's just kind of like I'm on the tail end there. And when I go back to check both of these recordings, I'll notice that this one, I just sound slower, I sound tired, I just sound more loud. But to get back to the HR meeting, it was more of like, hey, I want to leave, let's just call the building Alpha Site. Alpha Site building, I want to move to, let's say Data Site. Data is a lot closer on, but regular transfers aren't really helping, because of my heart condition, because of ADHD, and having managers and like people above me, they don't understand like what's going on with me, and they don't really care. So I have to put myself first and find ways to honestly, like, on a daily schedule, I actually make the Mad Hatter proud of what my breakfast is, because my breakfast always has a side dish, and that side dish has my medication. And it's not just one, it's like a beta blocker, it's ADHD meds, some multivitamins, and that's just turned into a regular thing for like, a while. But, my brain just gets foggy and it just, I don't know, I'm satisfied with the work I did at work. However, it is still hard on me to have these long days. Pretty much I've been awake for something like 15 hours. Yeah, 15 hours. I'm out of the house for at least 12. How does help this transfer happen? This job is enough to pay the bills, put food on the plate, to keep the status quo from what it is. But I never thought I'd still be here 2 years later, driving down the same road that I've been driving down for 2 years. After the pandemic, it was like, oh crap, my school closed down because of the pandemic. I can't finish my degree, I can't do the things I want to do. My parents took me home. This is like 3 years after heart surgery, and like all my heart problems really delayed all of high school. So I have my high school degree, and I've been to college, but never to the point of actually getting like a final degree from it. For a little while I was trying to become paramedic, and then, well, that's where I found out about my heart condition. After I had heart surgery, like open heart surgery, to put in a ring around the valve to make sure that like the blood is pumping properly out of the heart. It changed a lot of things. It made me more energetic. It made me more aware. It made me more awake. It stopped me from having really chaotic sleep patterns because I always felt tired. But a new problem arose, which it was masked because of the heart condition. I was always feeling tired, and I always zoned out. I started noticing cognitive glitches, what I'm going to call it. I've always had moments where I am in the middle middle of a sentence, and I think everything's fine. I know what I want to say in my head. I get 90% through the sentence of like telling a story, and then I get to one word. I know, like I know the picture of what I want to say in my head, but my brain is not finding the word, and it's always been a very simple, common, it's like everyday language. There would just be one word that is just on the tip of my tongue, and I don't know why I can't say it. And my brain panics, and then I try to find the next closest thing. And people close to me have always noticed that what would happen is sometimes I'd be like, we would go to the store to buy a rotisserie chicken. And later in the day, when we're eating it, I accidentally say turkey in a sentence. But there's no turkey in the fridge. And what I truly meant is, oh yeah, I want a chicken sandwich. But it turned into, okay, yeah, I'll have a turkey sandwich. And same thing, vice versa. And it would even happen with, like, as a kid, it's like, oh yeah, in my head I know that I want apple juice. But I would say orange juice. Because, like, those are two very similar things, at least in my head at the time. Apparently that's an ADHD thing. That is partially due, it's called aphasia, where your brain just has a hard time finding that very simple, very common, it should be there, you should know it. You've said it 1,000 times already throughout your life. But for some reason, when you're trying to say a sentence of the one thing that would be a good descriptor, it's just out of reach. And it was impacting me a lot. So, and then it gave me, like, even before heart surgery, I had serious anxiety issues that everyone was just like, oh yeah, you just had anxiety issues. Just work through it. Just try harder. Just expose yourself a little bit more. And it wasn't anxiety. It was actually ADHD, because what would happen is my brain would just be wired to be very panicky in that situation of, I'd be in front of a crowd, and it wouldn't even have to be a crowd, it could be in front of like 2 or 3 people, and I'd have to like read something from a paper, and I would just like break down, stuttering, and it should have been a very calm situation, it should have been like a very easy situation, but it would always end up with me stuttering over my words and sounding like a fool. But the amazing thing is, after I got medicated for ADHD, I started to try some of the cognitive behavioral therapy that I've been trying to do for years. But after I got medicated, my brain just started to rewire itself to be in a proper way. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but for me, my regular resting state was panicking. But it was quiet panic. People just thought I was quiet and shy. And like that's why I didn't think, was because I was sometimes panicking, sometimes I was overthinking, and anytime I would have like a small failure or a large one, it would just add to my anxiety. And there was a YouTuber that I watched that explained this phenomenon very well, of the wall of awful, of you've had such a bad history of failure and problems that you start your day and you hear one pass, and then you're paralyzed and you can't actually do the task because you're looking at this giant wall and you're terrified of like, wow, this is a lot of work. Where am I even going to start? And the wall of awful is like a very real thing for neurodiverse individuals. I thought this was just like my coping mechanism at the time, but I wasn't addicted to caffeine, but I used it as a self-medicating therapy, but without even knowing that I was self-medicating. And like my caffeine substance use started as young as like 10. I loved Coca-Cola. I loved pop. I had all the drinks, and it always helped me to feel happy and get things done. Even in high school, I ended up being, I became addicted to Monster Energy. It was one a day, and it was like one a day of a Monster Energy drink, and then it was like 2, 3, 4 cans or bottles of regular Coke, Diet Coke, and it didn't help my weight at the time. Looking back on it, I was just trying to self-medicate. I was trying to... My brain was craving substances that it wasn't producing on its own. Recently I've actually recently in the past 6 months, I believe I've done a very good job at removing a decent amount of carbonated drinks from my diet. I don't drink a can of Diet Coke every day. I've substituted it with tea. But, one of the reason I was able to make those healthy adjustments was because I got diagnosed with ADHD, and I got medicated for I got prescribed stimulants, and I remember the first real day that I took my ADHD medication. I sat down at my computer, and then I was like, shit, this is all dirty. Fuck, I need to clean it. Okay. I started cleaning. Then I saw the pile of dishes, and I'm like, wow, this is crap. I need to do dishes. And I see that there's stuff to be done. Now I can think about things. So I would do dishes. And then after that, there was the amazing thing that happened was, I cleaned the kitchen, I cleaned the dishes, I cleaned my workstation. Then I sat down for 4 hours and started working on some personal projects that I actually wanted to work on at the time, without having any challenges of trying to find distractions and trying to find going into just scrolling through web pages or trying to start to play a game and then scrolling down the list of Steam games that I have and like spend an hour doing that and not even pick one. But finally becoming medicated, it was like, okay, I'll do these two responsible things, and then I felt satisfied with those two responsible things, and then I let myself play some games, like guilt-free. I was just like, first time in years that I was able to not get sucked into the lane and everything, and being like, oh, the dishes scare me, oh, the kitchen scares me, oh, all of this is so much work, and it goes back to the wall of awful that I was talking about before. Oh, you see the kitchen, it's a mess. You see the living room, it's a mess. You see your computer station, it's a mess. It all scares you about like how much work it is, so you try to distract yourself from it. And then those days, I would be tired, and then I was always tired back then. I would pick a game, and I'd play it for like 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. The weird thing is I never really felt satisfied or happy. I was just playing for the sake of playing. It's so bizarre when I look back and try to think about my mindset from that period. It was like I was doing things to distract myself from the things that I didn't want to think about. But now I've had 2 years of being medicated for like both my heart condition and my ADHD. I got full-time employed. I've been working at least 45 hours a week. Sometimes, there was one period I was working 60-hour weeks. It was like, it was amazing. It was just kind of like, I was making money. It was like, it opened up to like even some luxury expenses that it helped with money. It needed to happen. But long hours and everything, and I got medicated, but when I look back on it, I felt like I had to grow up in a very short period of time. Like, I had heart surgery when I was 25. Everything before that is a complete blur. I don't even... The reason it's a blur is because of the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation. I I spent so many years unmedicated, in this fog of fear and not being able to feel satisfied or having complete stuff. And when I'm medicated, things and memories become blocked out. It's like an extreme version of state-dependent memory of I still retain all the memories, but when I'm unmedicated, I have an easier time remembering what I did when I was unmedicated. When I'm medicated, I have an easier time remembering what I did when I was medicated. And it's like, well, no, that shouldn't exist. Memories are memories. But it goes back to the weird state-dependent memory situation. The reason why I can talk about my past right now is because I'm on the tail end of my meds, and I'm not completely off the ridge. Things are still fuzzy, but I'm able to remember, let's just call it foggy fragments. But everything before my 25th birthday, it's like a slideshow. I don't even... Like, I do have some memories, but it's not even enough when compared to, like, the neurotypical people. So that, I feel like that has put me at a great disadvantage in my life. Thankfully, I have a partner that, well, has been very understanding, very supportive, and I'm just very grateful for what we've been through and that they're still with me. Because it was rough for a while. For a long while. I don't know. But being like, I'm finally medicated now. I'm like, of the family, I'm the one that I'm paying the bills, I'm paying for food, I'm paying for some of the luxury things, and the thing that really just kind of is amazing is every morning, every cycle that I wake up, because I work the night shift, every cycle I wake up, my brain is like a pickled slug. It's like I'm drunk, or like in a foggy, hungover phase. And my partner helps and brings me my meds and has it set up on my desk, and like has a little bit of yogurt that I usually have with it, and like has a meal all ready for me so I can take it with my meds. I eat that, and I go from being this bunny slug to being able to speak in full sentences and being able to describe things properly within like an hour. But the sad thing about that is, after I boot up, I only really have like 30, 40 minutes with my partner, and then I have to run out to work for and be out of the house for 12 hours. So I do that for a week, and then the weekend rolls around. I spend one day of it unmedicated, and when I have my unmedicated day, it's just to help my meds for when I do take it. But so my unmedicated day just kind of turns into a reset kind of, what's the word I need to do it because it helps me reset and be far more capable for for the week. So that means I get one day of responsible things that grocery shopping, overall. Fuck, I'm gonna go back and check this recording and it's gonna be night and day between the first and second one. I need to start looking after myself and start taking care of myself, and sure, I've been doing that with the help of my partner, but having a 30-40 minute drive if I don't get stuck in transit, and it wears down on me. If the car breaks down, it's a $80 taxi ride to work, and then it would be an $80 taxi ride back, which kind of I would I break even? No, not. It just really wouldn't be worth my time paying for a taxi. If I could get transferred to the beta site, that's what I call it. Swap the 30-40 minute drive with a 5-minute drive and save on fuel and save that I know what my deficits are now. I know what I need to work on. I'm a very, very different person. I'm a very different person from 5 years ago. People at work actually view me as confident. I don't view them as confident, but it's taking a toll. Okay, after heart surgery, after getting medicated, I've had two very good years. I just don't want to lose it. I just want to be aware of my health and try my best. Yeah. I've driven to work so many times, and I've driven so far on this car. I've had the engine fall out. I've had a wheel fall off. Like, I'm not joking. 2 of the 4 engine mounts in my car, the 2 front ones, they snapped due to age and wear and tear, and that I was told that no, that shouldn't have happened. But guess what? It happened. It happened to my car. It broke the coolant line. A lot of white smoke. Had to park the car, get it towed to my mechanic, and one of my mechanics said, like, "Oh wow, your engine almost fell out. It's like only rusting on 2 of the 4 mounts." And then one of the rear suspension mounts in this car, it snapped due to a really bad speed bump. Really bad pothole. And that happened. Both the front shocks, the springs broke on them. Both the rear springs broke due to age. Yeah. I had rodents in the engine at one time of just like, they made a nest in the air filter, and they started to eat the coolant lines. Alright, so I've actually had to replace the coolant lines twice in this car. Yeah, and it's just, it would just be nice to work a lot closer at home, not go through a long week with long hours to feel super tired on the weekend. And then when the weekend rolls around, I have responsibilities that I need to Yep, and there goes the bad habit. Took my meds, and took my powers, and took my thoughts. But yeah, this has been a 40-minute recording already, and that's just That's honestly just from me leaving work to a couple minutes from the house now. And I do this twice a day. I do this twice a day for my work week. And I can't continue to do this. My health is too important, so so yeah, that's my rant about pretty much just being a very neurodiverse, disabled individual due to heart surgery stuff, and I feel far more competent than people that don't have the same job. But I'm stuck working at a place that is far, far away. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do with this recording, but well, thank you for listening, for anyone who does.